Hello friends and welcome. I'm Sarah Liz and I am back with another emergency card kit. If you're new to my channel, an emergency card is one where we make the cards ahead of time, but we leave the sentiments off. That way, when an occasion arises, we can choose the card that best fits the recipient and the sentiment that best fits the occasion. To help you with this, I release a free printable kit on the first and third Friday of every month, full of sentiments and with a card sketch with a place for an interchangeable sentiment shape. Let's take a look at the kit. I'm calling it a get well kit, but there are definitely sentiments in here for those with chronic illnesses, things that don't really get well, but that was a little simpler for the label. I know we've also been talking about an encouragement kit, and I think there's lots in here that can be used for that until we get to that kit. Wishing you a feel-good kind of day. Get well soon. You're one tough cookie. Sending a little sunshine. Hang in there. I believe in you. You can do hard things. Will it hurt if I poke it? Get better soon. Whine a little. You'll feel better. How does it feel to be bionic? Sending paper hugs. Sending healing vibes. Boobs are stupid. My mother-in-law got breast cancer when my youngest son was maybe 2 years old. And so I made her this card that said boobs are stupid. And it had a pair of spinning boobs. And it made her laugh so much. And so I really like, especially for some of these big, tough things, for there to be some sentiments in here just to brighten someone's day, to sort of lift the heaviness for a minute. I'm so sorry your body has betrayed you. Wishing you a symptom-free holiday. Wishing you a symptom-free birthday. So this first page is circle sentiments, and that black circle is slightly larger than 1 3/4 of an inch. So I just wiggle my punch until I can't see that circle, and I'll know that I have it centered. You could also use a die. The second page is the same sentiments and the same sizes, but without the circle. So you can change your shape or the size of your circle. Then we have them in rectangle sentiments. I have been using these a ton lately, and we're going to do something really fun with these later on in this video, and I'm so excited to show it to you. There is an extra one in here, get better soon. I know you aren't sick, I just think you can do better. And I would give that to everyone I'm related to. Then we have our strip sentiments, and I've broken up some of those sentiments so you can use things individually, like hang in there, I believe in you, or you can cut them together and just skip that tick mark in the middle. It comes in 4 fonts. We have a couple whimsical fonts on the first page. And then on the second page, we have a nice scripty font and a classic serif font. As always, if you have ideas for new fonts, I always want to hear about it. And then we have our card sketch. All right, here's our plan for kits coming up. In August, we did art, color, and flowers. That one already came out, linked below. And then this is our Get Well kit. For September, we have a couple options. Let me know if you're interested in a fall and Halloween kit. Those were separate kits last year. I'm thinking about combining them, so I'd love your thoughts. We kind of get encouragement in this kit. And so I was probably going to do veterans before encouragement. I would love your sentiment ideas for that one because I haven't made a lot of cards for that, and I know some of you send out tons of them. Beyond those kits, I would love to know how you feel about a cooking and baking kit because I have been stewing on that one for a while. I have tons of requests for coworkers and friends. Should they be combined, separate? Are you not interested? All of that is helpful, and I always appreciate your input. If you're excited about these kits, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll be notified every time that there's a new free kit. All right, let's make some cards. I have 2 pieces of cardstock here. I have this purple layer that is my pattern paper that's 3 by 5.5. And then I'm going to glue that to the center of a 3 1/4 by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock. If you wanted to conserve cardstock, there's also measurements on there that say to just cut 2 1/8-inch strips. I'm going to add this onto a side folding card base, but really a top folding would be just fine here as well. I'm adding glue on the back, and I like wet glue for this, and then I like to butt it right up against the fold because if I'm off a little bit, I can trim the top or the bottom, but I can't trim the fold. Then I have a 1-inch strip of cardstock, that's the pink piece, that I'm going to glue onto the other side of my card. So it's 5.5 inches tall as well, and that covers the entire front. Then I'm going to cheat a little. So the card sketch says to cut 3 pieces that are a little smaller than our normal rectangles. It says 2 3/8 by 1 3/8, but I did 2.5 by 1.5. The size I'm using is our normal size for rectangle sentiments, but if you space them evenly and then add the circle on the bottom layer, it overlaps the middle rectangle ever so slightly. So that's why the measurement is different on the printable, in case you don't like that, but I find this a little bit easier, so I'm going to do that. I added some shimmery white cardstock to the top too. That is 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. That's the size of our rectangle sentiments. And I'm going to put a sentiment in the bottom. So I left that one blank. And then I am centering the middle one and gluing that down first. I'm going to decorate the top one and I'm going to trim off around the edges. So I'll decorate first. These were sitting on my mesk. It is the Perched birds. And I ink blended with this interference ink on that blue wing. And so it has a little bit of shimmer. The ink is blue and the shimmer is pink, and it coordinates beautifully with the rest of that bird. I'm layering this branch on the rectangle so that I can preserve most of the green pieces on here. I am going to trim off parts of the branch that aren't on our rectangle. And part of that's because this is intended to go with like the tunnelscapes collection at Spellbinders, and so you could create a tunnel card, and those are places where you glue it onto a box card. We're not doing that, so we'll just trim those 2 ends and leave the rest of it hanging off the sides. Then I'll glue my bird on as well, and I love this. There are 2 different size birds here, and they go 2 different directions, but I'm using the smaller one. I liked that direction a little bit better. When I go to add on these other 2 pieces, I am just trying to center them between the middle rectangle and the top or the bottom of my card. And I was paying so much attention to that I didn't line it up very well with the right column of that middle rectangle. So I'm going to peel this up. I feel like we do this a lot lately. I try to peel towards the middle. I don't want to tear the pattern paper or the cardstock where you can see it. So if I can't get something to come up easily, I just stick my little pokey tool under there. Sometimes if it's really stuck, I'll go ahead and use a craft knife. Then I can glue it back down, and the only things that got torn are being covered up when I glue this back onto my card. When I go to add the bottom one, I'm going to do the same thing, but I've kind of learned my lesson. I'm going to center it between that middle rectangle and the bottom, but I'm also looking very carefully, especially on that right-hand side. Since there isn't any pattern over there, that draws my eye more than the left-hand side. I told you I did something cool. I printed my rectangle sentiments on the same shimmer cardstock that I used for the other rectangles. I use that cardstock all the time. It's from Michael's. It's inexpensive. It's 65 pound. I used a laser printer, so if you have an inkjet, maybe test it first. I'm cutting these apart by connecting the tick marks on the bottom and the top, but I'm not cutting all the way through. I am leaving that header intact. That way I have these strips that are still connected. So I rotate the whole thing, and I will just slide my trimmer blade right through the tick marks on the side, and I will end up with these sentiments that are 2 1/4 by 1 1/4 inches. This is the same size as the other white shimmer rectangles we've already glued on, but I will add this one with removable adhesive in case I want to change that sentiment later. And that finishes card number 1. For card number 2, we're going to make a fun fold. We've done this a couple times in the intro video. I can't help myself, right? I think about these ways that I want to step up a card, and so we're going to do it right now. There will also be a stepped up video next Friday. You guys, I have a new pop-up mech for you. So I have a side folding card, and I trimmed 1 inch off of that top flap. The remaining front of the card is 3 1/4 inches wide, which is the same size as the medium gray layer on our card sketch. Then I can just use my 3-inch strip of the cutest paper ever down that flap. You guys, I bought this towards the beginning of the summer and I hadn't used it yet. I was like, it's gotta be pineapple time. It just does. Like, I can't not use it, and it would be maybe weird for me to use it in winter. For the inside of my card, I have a piece of white cardstock that is 3 inches by 5.5 and another strip of pattern paper that is 1 inch by 5.5. I'm kind of recreating the sketch from the front of the card on the inside of the card. The part on the left gives me a place to write my message, and the piece on the right can be seen both inside the card and when the card is closed. When I go to line up this white piece, I found it easiest to try to make sure I was creating an even margin right near that pattern paper, since it had stripes on it as well. It gets really obvious if that's crooked. I have 3 pieces of black cardstock that are 2.5 by 1.5, and then 3 more pieces of that white shimmer cardstock that are 2.25 by 1.25. This is the Smart Glasses die set from Spellbinders. It came out with like the Dancing Birthday Monster and Panda and all those. And I just think they're so cute. And I love how these sort of coordinate with the sunglasses that our pineapples are wearing. So I am making my own patterned paper, if you will. I am gluing these down with wet glue. I'm tapping them off on the back of my hand, even though I set out some scrap paper to tap it off on that. And then I have just a little silicone mat underneath to make sure I don't get glue everywhere. If I was going to do this again, I would cut them out with some double-sided adhesive, but I didn't think of it at the time, and I wasn't going to recut these pieces. There's like 5 or 6 pairs of glasses in that die set, so it really didn't take very long, and I have some leftovers. But I cut them twice, once from colored cardstock and then once from black cardstock, so I would have the pieces to put on the inside. Once I get them glued down on the first 2, I'll just take my scissors and trim around the outside. I saved some of those pieces and stuck them on the 3rd piece. We're going to use a circle sentiment, so not a lot of that rectangle is going to show. I'm just picking up like little scraps and leftovers and finishing my cards that way. And then I'm not wasting anything, and I have lots of leftovers for later. So those are my 3 pieces. They're so cute. I love that there's texture on them. I just love die cutting. But use pattern paper if that's what works for you, right? This is just a method. I am gluing these onto my black rectangles just like we did before. Yes, I'm going to add a circle sentiment, but I'm not going to add that until later. We're going to assemble our sort of inside, outside flippy mechanisms. I don't know what to call them first, because it's a little easier that way. I am, however, going to add another 2-inch circle of cardstock onto the back of my matte silver cardstock, partly for stability and partly because you see it and the back is craft, and I like that. This piece of cardstock is 65 pound and it's 4 inches wide. I'm going to pull it ever so slightly away from that left edge and score it 2.5. This will ensure that these pieces are just a little smaller than the rectangles we're gluing them behind. Then I'm going to take it to my trimmer and I will cut these apart every 1.5 inches. I need 3 of them, so I have 3 hinges. If you didn't want to create these hinges, you certainly could create this card, cut off the 1-inch strip on the front panel, and then just glue those rectangles onto the front panel so that they sort of overhang and you have this interesting shape on the right side. But I didn't want to cover up that much of the pineapples is really what it comes down to. So I'm lining these up and figuring out how far to the right I want them. And then I'll use my pencil on that short flap to mark the edge of that pattern paper. I want these to come right up to that edge. Then I'm going to take it to my trimmer to make sure I have a really straight edge. I need all 3 pieces to be exactly the same length. So I'm just using some mint tape. It's like Post-it tape to tape them together while I cut the other 2 in the exact same spot. That way, when I line these up on the edge of that mint striped paper, they're also going to line up on the right-hand side when they're folded. And we won't have the issues that I was running into on the first card where I was really struggling to get things straight. So here are my pieces. I want to make sure the very short flap is on the right-hand side, and then I am gluing on my rectangles, and these will fit right behind there. I went just a touch shy on my 1.5 inches and a touch shy on my 2.5 inches. So I know I'm not going to have anything sticking out. I don't need to trim anything with my scissors or worry about sizing, right? I like to cheat small that way. But certainly, if you are better at cutting things at exact measurements than I am, you go for it. All right, let's put this thing together. I have some white cardstock for contrast, but I wanted the grid for this, so I'm just hanging it off the right-hand side, and I'll put something heavy on it just to keep it open. I'm adding glue only to the short flap, so if I opened it up, you would see the pattern and the glue. but I'm going to fold that back around and I'm going to glue that flap centered on the pattern paper so that the black piece goes right to the left-hand edge of the pattern paper. And when I open the flap, I can use the grid to make sure that it's straight. In fact, that was so helpful that I'm going to tape this card to my work surface just to make sure it's not going to move. When I go to line up the other two pieces, the measurements are really tidy. So there will be a 1/4 inch gap at the top and at the bottom, and 1/4 inch gaps between the top piece in the middle and the middle piece and the bottom, right? Which makes this super, super slick when I'm using my grid. So here I am, I'm putting glue on the short flap, okay? Then I'll fold it back and I'm gonna line that up on the pattern paper and then align it with my grid. I am closing it, just double checking to make sure I didn't cut anything in a weird way. And I want it to be parallel with the bottom of the card, or here parallel with the top of the card. So that lines up all 3 flaps. You guys, that went so much more smoothly than I was afraid it was gonna. So hopefully this teaches you some tips if you're gonna try this yourselves. I would love to know if you do. You can always tag me on Instagram at Sassy's LLC or on Facebook at Sassy's LLC Cards. So I'm adding glue just to the center strip of that circle so I don't glue my card shut. And when I line it up, I want to make sure that my card can stand up, right? It's not going lower than the bottom of the card, but when I do that, it does overlap that center rectangle ever so slightly. Does not bother me. I'm bringing in my circle sentiments and I'll use my punch to cut out sending a little sunshine because pineapples with sunglasses, like I had to. And then I will put just a little removable adhesive on the back of that. And I thought I was done, but I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself. These are perfect when you open them up for adding another sentiment, a rectangle sentiment, a circle sentiment. And so I have boobs are stupid. This is the cutest, goofiest card I have made in a while. And so if I need a card for a friend with breast cancer, I sure hope this one would brighten their day. All right, my friends, those are our 2 card projects for today. I would love to know which of these 2 cards is your favorite and which set of pattern papers, because I can't decide. It's a hard one. If you are interested in the free printable kit, all I ask is that you subscribe to my channel. So go ahead and click that subscribe button and then ring the bell so you'll be notified every time there's a new free kit. If you have ideas for sentiments, I would love to hear about them in the comments below. All of the details on the upcoming kits are at the beginning of this video in case you missed it, but I would love your feedback. If you're looking for more kits, go ahead and click more or show more beneath the video, and that will unpack the description box with a link to the emergency card kit playlist and any other videos we've talked about today, along with details about this kit and all of the supplies we've used. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I will see you next time.